brought to you by IWCRadio.com. It's the internet's most irreverent wrestling podcast. Now, please welcome Beans, Smoot, Chucks, and Will. This is the IWC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the IWC Radio podcast. This is our Fastlane preview show. Looking forward to the Fastlane pay-per-view event tomorrow. With me, as always, Beans, Chucks, and Will. How are you guys doing? Welcome.
Hello. I was conscious that last week I left it for ages and there was an awkward silence for you, so I just thought I'd get in there straight away and say hello.
I'm glad you did, because I wasn't going to.
You never.
I don't like to be the first one, you know?
I was going to say, you're still doing your sponsored silences.
No, to start the show, I don't like to talk over anyone. As the show goes on and we're kind of committed to it, then anything goes. But I don't want to do it that early on, you know?
So you're not committed to the show at the start?
Well, I mean, right now we could start again, and I don't think much would be lost. Other than your cheery hello.
Okay. That's fair. I can believe in that. Yeah.
But as of about now, I think, no, we're doing this now. We're on the fast lane. There's no going back.
There's no
change gears.
There's no change gears. There's no roadblocks.
No roadblocks. It's not the end of the line.
Not the end of the line. That's right. Yeah. Hi, everybody. We don't have much news to talk about in the week. We could go over Raw and SmackDown. Presumably SmackDown, considering it's.
There's no way out. Exact, Ed.
There you go.
There's no way out.
There you go. There's pretty much. This is pretty much the last pay-per-view of the, what would be the brand split, because everything from here on out after WrestleMania is just going to be dual branded. So, partially an end of an era, you know.
Is it?
Paul Heyman hinted that Roman Reigns could be on SmackDown if WWE needed them to be there after WrestleMania. Which
Heyman hinted that?
Yeah, in that promo at the end of Raw, remember? Where he was talking about if
No, I don't know.
He was rambling on about how, he alluded to a hit being put out on his father or something like that. Like if his father was to suddenly become ill, Reigns had to still do WrestleMania, and then the night after WrestleMania,
that's right.
And then possibly SmackDown Live.
If they needed it.
Yeah. I have to be honest. During that promo, I honestly thought Paul Heyman was going to refer to possibly Roman Reigns' father dying whilst he was at WrestleMania, and how bad he would feel if he missed it or something. That was the way it was.
Last time they did this match at 31, and Reigns was supposed to go over, and then they changed it last minute. Reigns' dad was really pissed.
Really?
Yeah, that was a big story around the time that all of the Samoan family, because they all thought that this was going to happen, and they were kind of ready to celebrate this big thing. Then it didn't happen. They were pissed.
Oh, Vince is going to do the biggest rib on them this year.
I hope so.
3 years in the making, this guys. It's going to be awesome. Wait till 5 minutes before the match, and we'll fucking screw him again.
Oh my god. I mean, sure, yeah. I don't know. I think Lesnar's heading out of the company without the title. In my opinion.
Doesn't his contract finish a bit later on than Mania, though? It's not like last time, I don't think.
Yeah, but you could just wait it out.
Well, Heyman said on that promo, didn't he? He said something about SummerSlam. And he's going to come back at SummerSlam with the Universal title and the UFC title.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah. That would be kind of cool to have a cross-promotional champion in that regard. I don't know if it'll happen. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, considering Lesnar's held on to it for essentially forever.
Yeah.
Do you know what really irritated me though about the Paul Heyman segment?
What?
Was the fact that they never addressed the fact that Brock Lesnar wasn't at Raw last week.
I think something
happened.
I think something happened behind the scenes that we're not supposed to like point that out, you know. In a way.
I think that's just they decided to do it this way instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they've decided to do it this way and Roman Reigns has called him out on it, the fact that it's never been responded to, just like, it was probably designed just to make you think, oh yeah, he's right. I love Roman Reigns.
But pretty much, you're supposed to think that Lesnar isn't a company man, so let's boo him. When actually, no one likes the company anymore. We like the guys going against the company. I think Lesnar leaving and saying, I'm a big enough star, I don't need this, kind of makes him like a big star. And I think, yeah, no, this guy's actually, he's got a point. He's got the money, he can do something else. He's like The Rock or something, you know? When a guy like Cena or Reigns comes out every week and says, I love doing this, I wouldn't wrestle anywhere else, this is my life, I love WWE. It's kind of, no, that just makes you sound lame. Just me? I don't know.
No, I get where you're coming from. It is, I don't know, after Cena's been like the company guy, for like many, many years, the fans kind of want something a little bit new, something like a CM Punk, if you will, that was like against the company.
Right.
No, I get where you're coming from.
I hate the line from people when they say that they would never wrestle for anyone else.
Yeah.
When they're always said from people that would never have to wrestle for anyone else.
Yeah.
It's true. Someone's always got security. But like back in the day, right up until the Cena era, the biggest stars were the guys that Vince would hate to lose. The guy like Austin and Rock and Hogan and, the big stars could go to WCW and make WCW a bigger company. Whereas
and they all had their own spots at the top as well.
But they were all bigger than WWE in some way. Obviously, they're biggest together, but they were all big enough to stand on their own. Whereas everyone since then has been very grateful to be here, and this has been my dream forever, and I would never go anywhere else. That just doesn't. It's not the same. So for me, anyway, Lesnar's a huge babyface for leaving. I hope he doesn't. I kind of hope he does resign because he's awesome. But for him, I hope he doesn't because just kind of cool. Kind of cool to be able to say no.
Does it seem crazy that Lesnar's been champion for a year?
No, it's not that crazy. Considering CM Punk had his own build up count for the amount of days he had.
But Lesnar hasn't been on TV. At least Punk was there.
That's very true.
He's wrestling halfway up the pay-per-view cards, but he was there.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing that people are kind of sick of is the fact that the champion's just not around.
I prefer it. Again, it makes him special. When he's not around and then he comes back and defends it, it's always a big thing.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Although there was a show, was it last week, when Lesnar did a show in Chicago?
With Kane.
He beat Kane in 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Fans were not happy. There was a lot of booing.
Really? Well, what else did they expect? I'd be a bit concerned if he had like a 15-minute match with Kane.
Right.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Whatever match they're going to have, it's not going to be a long one, but I think they just wanted more than 35 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell? If they'd have gone the week afterwards, they wouldn't have even seen Brock Lesnar, so...
Do you think, as just said in the chat there, that his contract may not end till after SummerSlam?
It's a different contract, I think. I may have it totally wrong, but his wrestling contract ends at WrestleMania because he signed it right after 31, wasn't it? That was when he was supposed to leave, and then he re-signed then. So it was a 3-year contract from then.
It was the weekend of where he did it, wasn't it? Because it was like...
That's right,
he did that a big announcement, didn't he, on a talk show about not going to UFC.
He could have a second contract.
But he he does not as a COO or whatever, but he has one. It's like a rights deal, or
is it a similar one to what Stephanie has for some reason why she's in a match now?
Could they have found a worse plot hole for that story? I know we're getting a little sidetracked from the Lesnar stuff, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's just said, what would Lesnar do in a non-wrestling status after Mania until August? I think he'd become the Jonathan Coachman's replacement on Raw.
That there's a problem there, and I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to be that guy.
He's not black.
There is an issue. Oh no.
I just love it though if it came on Raw and you had like mini Michael Cole in the middle welcoming you, and then Brock Lesnar in this huge suit, like stood there. And he just becomes really articulate.
God.
Yeah, or he's on commentary in the middle and he's like, yeah, he's beating the piss out of him.
All right, that would be kind of cool.
That would be great. I'd watch that.
Do they let him go to UFC until August?
Who's going to stop him?
Yeah,
until August, until another test comes in, possibly.
How is he not still suspended after the last one?
I think it's been a year.
He is, isn't he?
I think it's been a year.
Yeah.
I'm sure I heard that he wasn't evil. I'm sure I heard that he won't be able to fight until at least July or so.
I thought you can't retire to get out of a suspension. And if you because he basically got suspended and said, well, I'm retired anyway. And then I think there's a rule that if you come back, you still have to sit out for a while. Or
yeah, I think I'd heard on something where it said as soon as you go back into the testing pool, that's when you kind of like your suspension like starts running out. Yeah. So I think they said that if he did it when all the rumors first started about him going back to UFC, if he actually entered the drug pool at that point, then he would be able to fight from July this year, I think.
So if he comes out of WrestleMania really skinny, then we know that he's going back.
Oh my God.
Ed's put a nice one on. Lesnar on commentary. Seth Rollins is here. Miz is here. Let's do this.
Yeah, I can see him getting away with that.
They should have him. They should have Lesnar on commentary, just sat there, while Paul Heyman does all the actual commentary.
They should. He just sits there intently with his headset on.
Yeah, just smiling every so often.
Yeah, and then his head just bobs up and down like he's doing his little thing. I'd love it as well, like like when they always do these cuts when they turn to the camera on the stage and they stood up from the desk. Yeah. I'd love it if they're talking about someone getting beat up and they said someone made the comment about how they got knocked out of the shoes, and then Lesnar just starts laughing uncontrollably and says, "Remember that, Michael?" and slaps him in the chest, knocks him over the table. Really pally slap on the back and dislocates his shoulder or something.
That would be great, yeah.
That would be great.
There's Lesnar's announcer bio photograph. You don't put that.
What's this now?
If you look at the picture I've just sent you.
Oh, I don't have any.
I don't have any.
I don't see a picture.
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Happy why you're not looking at one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's him in high school.
Okay, that's got to go on the stream. Where's this from?
Yeah, that's his high school picture.
Oh my God, he looks exactly the same.
Have you not?
Well, I mean, I say exactly the same.
Have you?
Where's his neck?
His neck.
Let me find it.
He still has the same traps. That looks Photoshop.
It's not.
No, I remember you going on about it.
It's not photoshopped, believe it or not.
Ow. I'm not sure I do. Edward Lesnar.
He comes on commentary and says that he's been speaking to Dana Brooke.
Oh my god!
He wanted to look more professional and more like a statistician, whatever she calls herself.
Oy.
Yeah, that's a legit picture, dude.
But it looks like his head now.
Well, he is the same person.
Yeah, but like 30 years older or whatever, 20 years older.
Okay.
I have no response for you, Chuck.
No, it's fair. It's just even more scary, I think.
Can you imagine a teacher
more
having a go at
terrifying.
him?
No, I can't.
There's just something wrong with that boy.
You know, with your computer, just press F5.
Hey.
I'm sorry, it was just... I didn't see it come up on the stream. I just heard Smoot saying it and then just heard Smoot laughing to himself afterwards, and it just tickled me.
That's a good meme. Going back to the other storyline with the McMahons versus Rousey and Angle. How flat was that segment when Stephanie was doing like the reveal for who Ronda's opponent was going to be?
What, the drum roll thing where Ronda like completely like just went you,
Yeah,
but dead low as well.
I don't know if that was really bad or really good.
bad.
Bad. Yeah.
But
I
she
go
shouldn't.
bad.
She shouldn't be waiting for the drum roll, like jumping ahead and not letting Steph do the mocking build-up thing. That made sense.
True. I agree.
But it just, like you said, it was too quiet and it didn't really work.
Yeah.
I want to know, why does Steph have a active roster contract? And if so, she's like stealing money from a public traded company because she's not had a match for years.
A superstar.
Yeah, that was another thing that kind of boggled my mind, was that she somehow has like an active wrestler's contract somehow.
He should have said, because he had to say superstar,
Right?
because that's the word. Everyone's a superstar. But if he had said on-screen performer or active talent or something like that, because she is on TV,
That's true.
then that could kind of maybe explain it.
I mean, even Steph was hiding behind it beforehand, because it was like he said, because you knew that she was obviously, Rousey was going to pick Steph, but then when she said yes, you can pick anyone as long as they're not a champion and as long as they're on the active roster, and you just thought, well, Steph's definitely just covered the bases here.
Yeah.
And then apparently Kurt Angle likes to snoop around files and knows exactly who's on the active roster.
Well, he's GM, he has to.
What's
In the past, then, all these GMs that have had problem with like Steph, why did they never just like book Steph into like a 20,000 man on one match against Steph? Seems she's on the active roster.
Here's my thing. What's stopping the McMahons from firing Angle?
And overturning the decision.
Yeah. And just I don't get that.
Well, I'm thinking the match has to be for Kurt's job or something, because either way, he can't stay on.
I was going to say, they could have
exactly
like pulled the board of directors thing into it just to cover themselves. But
So Vince pop his head out of the curtain and say, yep, I'm good with it.
Yeah, but Vince is just being wheeled out for entertainment. He's no longer in control, don't you remember?
Yeah.
He was stripped of his power, it's true.
Yeah, and Triple H came out and cried with him for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Dad. Or whatever it was.
I love you, Pop.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh. I love how we've all just stopped because we're reminiscing about that.
Right.
Yeah. Good times.
Ed just said Rousey has the worst effing timing on a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
She's still learning, but I do like she's improving every time that she comes out.
Mm.
I could see her being another like Kurt Angle in the women's division. You know, like how Kurt, it didn't take Kurt long to become a main player in WWE, and obviously Rousey's a completely different status to the way that Kurt Angle came in originally. But
the thing about Kurt is that like when he first came on, he seemed like he was natural on the mic, and now
I don't know on the mic. He was quite wooden at first.
And he's still wooden.
It didn't take him long to relax. Well, now he's got double pneumonia. He's,
Oh, God.
He's terrible now, but yeah, it took him a little. But in the ring, wrestling, he picked it up in no time at all. It's true. I don't know about Ronda. I know she's been training for a while. I don't know if she's actually any good yet.
Really worries me is as well is a first match in WWE where the spotlight's on her, and she's got to face Steph. I mean, even from the interaction that they had on this week, where they did quite a bit of physical activity, and Steph was, when she pulled her in and the way she fell down, it was like, oh God, you can just see what this match is going to be like.
Yeah, that Samoan drop that we're not allowed to call a Samoan drop.
Wait, really?
Well, they didn't. It was clearly a Samoan drop, but they kept saying, slammed her down, or just wouldn't call it a Samoan drop.
Didn't they call it a suplex at one point?
Something like that.
God.
Ed just said in the chat, Angle is wooden now because he's afraid he'll say the wrong thing and be forced to pick up the Jason Jordan feud.
Speaking of which, Steph said that Kurt had 5 kids.
Yeah, she did.
He has 6.
Oh my God.
I think we've all just forgot about that.
Unless she thought that Jason Jordan was the little girl.
Right. Yeah, Jason Jordan actually is Kira, or Kyra, I think the first thought was. Anyway. The match, I think, will be Angle versus Triple H for 90% of it. Then Ronda can tag in, do a armbar, and they can do the armbar ankle double submission finish.
If fans boo Brock Lesnar in Chicago for having a 35-second match,
they're going to boo the shit out of that.
What are they going to do when Ronda gets in the ring and literally just puts an armbar on someone? I'm not being funny, but the WrestleMania 31 segment where she had that interaction with Steph is probably going to be a lot nicer to watch than what match we probably will get out of this.
Hey, well, they got time to practice.
Ed just said as well about the amount of Kurt Angle's children. Steph said that he had 4. Angle said that he had 5, but Creative says he had 6.
That's even worse. He should know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's got double pneumonia.
God
make you forget your firstborn.
God damn it. Or your secondborn or thirdborn. Oh my God. Yeah, so that segment was a complete another shit show.
Well, I did like seeing Angle and Triple H going at it even for the 10 seconds it lasted for. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of was for a little bit, and then Steph and Rousey got into it, and that seemed like to drag on forever.
I just get annoyed because I just think it feels like a waste of all that's involved. You could probably think of a better scenario for each person in the match to do something different at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Steph could get accidentally bumped.
Through a table or something like that.
Well, that's what's happened the last 2 or 3 WrestleManias. She's just gotten in the way. Reigns speared her that time.
Oh, right. I thought you meant like bumped off. I thought murdered.
No.
I said bumped. It's a wrestling podcast. Bump means a thing. I'm just like really lazily saying that she's going to get gonna get whacked.
Sorry, no. I was thinking about The Sopranos.
Exactly. I'm gonna get bumped off. Yeah. Bumped off the apron.
I know
maybe.
that this isn't going that well at the moment on TV, but I wouldn't have her killed.
Oy.
Good grief, Beans. Where's your
Good
mind
grief.
at?
Baby brain.
Excuse me?
I have baby brain. It's like Kurt Angle's double pneumonia.
Yeah.
God.
Start accusing people of saying things that they didn't. Just like Kurt did. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. It's just what Smoot was saying about you, Chucks, before we came on the air.
Well, wait, what?
What now?
What did I do now?
What did I say?
We've been doing this show for 4 years and we still can't get rid of the bitch.
Beg your pardon?
I was talking about the intro.
Oh, okay.
Will's
Killed
dead.
Will.
Bumped him off.
That's the second time you killed someone off, didn't you? Kill Cena off at some point.
That's true.
No, oh my god, this again.
That was bad.
Yeah. I remember that.
Kill Cena. I implied. No, you know what? Let's not get into this again.
We need to find this clip. But get out every now and again. Or I do when I get thrown under the bus for something.
Oh, we could find some clips of you.
No, you're
We're
right.
playing that game.
No, very often. I'm staying quiet now.
Yeah.
Baby brain.
Baby brain, God. What else happened on...
I think we've kind of gone on the off-ramp for a bit now. We were on the fast lane. Now we've gone right
Hold
back
on.
into the
one-
normal lane, pulled off, gone to a service station.
The one other thing from Raw I want to point out is the Strowman Elias Symphony of Destruction match. And then we can get back onto the
Go for it.
This was an awful match. I felt it was a waste of a piano. I really thought he was gonna drop it on Elias and not just like the stage and break one of the light panels on the ramp. Yeah, it just felt like a waste of time, and this was one of those matches where people were complaining about that Strowman was kind of getting into the goofy territory, and this one felt like it was the case. They did the whole like El Kabong with the bass thing again. It came off really terrible, and I really hope these two aren't going to have like a match at WrestleMania. Like, surely this can't go on for another month.
No, I think this has to have been it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I was
hope
going to say,
so.
weren't there a thing about them keeping Strowman like kind of on the back burner in
Yeah.
case they needed to insert him in the main event?
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah,
that
but-
worries me is like if they were to have a match at WrestleMania, then you could see it being like a heavily gimmicked match, and unfortunately, we kind of already had that now. So, and, you know, if they just went and booked the same kind of thing for WrestleMania, I don't know. I can see them doing it, but I'd be quite disappointed.
I think you've got, if you're holding Strowman off of doing anything, real, just put him in the Battle Royal. Worst comes to the worst, he can win that. That's fine.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's easy to pull him out of, like they've done with Cena so many times. Or he could stay in it and win it, and who else have you got to win that? It's not like anyone else needs to do it. And he can beat up Elias in there.
Oh, Cesaro was the first one to win it, and I think Baron Corbin was the second, right? And then
Big Show.
Big Show, right? Then
Sure.
Baron Corbin, then Mojo.
I mean, that's a Hall of Fame right there, isn't it?
So
Started off so promisingly.
it's a weird prediction to make so early on, but who do you think is winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year? Is there anyone? Because not that any of the other winners have stood out as being obviously going to win it, but who have you got?
I think Mojo was like the only one, perhaps.
What?
I think someone, not even me. I think I predicted Mojo winning that battle royal. I think I'll have to go back and check the tape. I might be wrong.
I think you did that just to wind me up.
I'm not sure though.
I could see. Ed just said in the chat, rumor is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will end up in this battle royal, which is frightening. Yeah. But if it is, I can see Sami Zayn winning it.
I think it's a waste of two of those guys. I think they need to have like a match. I think something happens at Fastlane that breaks those two up, considering Zayn was the one that scored the pinfall on Owens in the throwaway match leading up to the pay-per-view.
That's crazy. Actually, you did predict.
Yeah.
Mojo Rawley.
I called it. Yeah.
We all thought it would be Strowman.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I fucking called it.
That's absolutely insane.
Look where I am now.
I remember watching that fucking battle royal in total horror.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating not watching WrestleMania live.
Yeah. I was just sitting there. I was like, I think I called it. I think I was the one that called Mojo, and sure enough, yeah.
I'm sure if you look through my Twitter feed, I sent a lot of abuse to Smoot around the time of Mojo winning that match.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, you probably did. You probably did. Looking at the other stuff on the... Oh, John Cena and Goldust, which was apparently, and back me up on this, Chucks, was the first time these two have ever had a match.
Oh, well, that should have been a Fastlane.
Oh, man. That's,
Yeah, I think it was.
They mentioned that on the show. Like, it was apparently the first time ever these two ever competed with one another.
I believe it, because...
I believe it, too.
I can't think... Goldust hasn't really... I mean, he's been around.
Yeah. I was going to say, is it something like Goldust is probably retiring after Mania, and he probably had it on his bucket list that he wanted to wrestle him or something before he retired?
I mean, why not?
Okay, so they've been in Royal Rumbles together.
Oh,
they've been in six-man tags on the same team together.
Oh,
Raw in October 2014, Dean Ambrose and John Cena beat Goldust and Stardust and the Usos in a triple threat tag. But that's as close as you get.
So never a one-on-one. Wow.
No, in all those years.
So they were right. They actually called that. Huh.
Yeah. Edge just said in the chat, Beans, didn't you say that you were going to turn off Mania because Mojo won? I did put something in when you made that prediction. I said if he won that, I wouldn't watch it. And I remember now on Twitter that I had to beg you all to let me watch it. He's also said anything about the Raw Tag Champs not having competition at Mania now that they took the Revival out, which was ridiculous.
They should not. Yeah, the Revival should not have lost. Like, I don't know what they're doing with them, but they'll
probably just do a rematch with them.
Yeah,
they have this wonderful thing in turning WrestleMania from first time matches into rematch.
I think I don't know. You're gonna have to pull somebody from SmackDown to face those guys, I guess.
Well, Big Dave, Dynamite Dave, my boy, was a little bit cryptic on one of his shows last week about this.
Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, he wouldn't say what the plan is, but he made it sound like he knew what the plan was, and it's not a match.
What?
He wouldn't say that, they were... He kind of said that, last year the New Day hosted, but it's probably not that. It could be backstage segments, but, who knows what they're going to be. So he was a little bit cryptic about it, but apparently the plan is not to have them in a match.
What?
So
Why?
They're probably going to have, Jericho do the highlight reel on WrestleMania and they're the guests.
Well, it could be... every year the legends have to come out and just beat someone up.
Oh god.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Bully Ray and Devon are going into the Hall of Fame
Right.
this year.
They could be taking a 3D.
Ah.
Oh gosh, I just can't wait.
I would rather have them in an impromptu match.
Against the Dudleys.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because they could still go.
Plus, it would be like last year, we were going to have a tag match, and then the Hardys showed up and just won the belts. This
That's true.
year, going to have no tag match. Dudley show up and just win the belts. It'd be cool.
I'd be okay with that.
Next year, Edge and Christian.
Oh my god.
Yeah, where Edge never gets into the match. He just stands on the apron like a cheerleader.
You can do it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Raw for right now. Leading up to, before we get into the prediction game, SmackDown.
You missed.
What was the other thing I missed?
We finally seem to get some development on the whole Matt Hardy thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very good point. Yeah, the whole deletion match at the Hardy compound.
So excited for this.
The ultimate deletion.
It's about time. This was this should have happened a lot sooner, but we're finally going to presumably get the Hardy match compound that we've all been waiting for. Do you think
WWE?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Saying WWE.com, I've got a vote up at the minute of which member of Matt Hardy's trusted platoon do you want most to see in WWE?
Trusted platoon.
Platoon, wow.
The
One of
options
them
are
later.
Queen Rebecca, Senor Benjamin, Vanguard 1, King Maxwell, Lord Wolfgang, or Skarsgård.
They've actually used all of those.
I'm really surprised they actually use those names and know who they are.
Senor Benjamin is currently leading the vote by 36%.
Yeah, of course he is.
Good.
Everyone loves Benjamin.
Good. Yeah, do you think any of those guys are going to show up? Actually, before you answer that, do you think this is going to be better or worse than the TNA produced match?
From those little clips that we got, it looked like this was Matt doing his thing.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a WWE version of the Hardy compound.
According to Rebby, she filmed it last Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be better.
If it's what TNA did, if it's the same thing TNA did, but with WWE's budget, it should be good. But guess we'll find out.
As long as they don't do like the 16 camera takes like they did when Strowman flipped over a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think in this kind of situation, that stuff doesn't really matter. You can get away with that kind of thing.
Yeah, I just don't want to throw up when I'm watching WrestleMania.
Well, as long as they don't do it like, when we went to the Wyatt compound and everything was just really dark, and they did do a load of camera cuts. You couldn't see anything that was going on.
Yeah, no,
it's not going to be like that. We're already winning. We're going to see probably all of those guys that you mentioned. So we'll pop for that. Someone's going to go in the lake of rebirth or regeneration or whatever it is.
Restoration.
Someone's going to get restored. Reincarnation.
Amazing how many variations we've come up with.
I mean, the room, what we're told, is Borash was behind a lot of that stuff, TNA. So
yeah,
hopefully he's involved in this as well.
I think if Hardy requests him, yeah.
Should throw Michael Cole in that lake. See if he comes back in his coal mine.
He's got the frosted tips.
Comes back as a war correspondent.
Throw Triple H and Shawn in there, and they can do that thing where they knelt over and pushed him back into the lake.
Is there anything else from Raw before I move on to SmackDown?
No.
Which is okay.
I did find it kind of amusing in that Cena and Goldust segment that Goldust pointed to the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah,
and he got the shot with the sign and everything.
That's true.
Of all the people with no road to WrestleMania, he's got to try and forge a path.
Why not?
That's the first time Goldust ever pointed to the WrestleMania sign.
It had to be. Had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Quite a good tweet I saw actually when that happened. It was something on the lines of, "This is what happens when you play 2K18 through on career mode." Goldust randomly appeared.
On SmackDown, not much had happened, from what I remembered.
Did anyone else
production guy nearly died in the snow?
Oh yeah, there was like a camera crew person. The guy got a shot of the arena, and I guess one of the crew members was doing something. They were walking towards the statue. This was in like Green Bay, I believe, right?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. So I think it was like some football player statue. And he goes up to do something towards it, and it just falls on his ass, and they replayed it. It's arguably like the greatest part of SmackDown this week because
I can't help but feel like it was done on purpose, though.
Maybe.
He got interviewed. It's on YouTube. They interviewed him backstage.
But the thing is whenever they do them shots of like statues, you wouldn't have a crew member walk up to it. You'd just have the shot of the statue. So I can't understand why he walked into shot.
I thought it was
he said he was setting up the shot, and the camera was just on at the time.
Oh right, so they just decided to use it anyway.
Yeah, someone got hold of it and thought, "Oh, this will be funny."
In a way, it technically wasn't.
Yeah, I hope they asked him before they did that.
In a way, it technically wasn't a live shot in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, if you fancy wasting 5 minutes of your life, there's an interview with the cameraman on YouTube.
How did you feel when you fell over?
I must admit, he doesn't look very happy about it.
Yeah, because like he's probably gonna get made fun of and be on Botchamania now.
Yeah. See, I didn't see SmackDown this week, but I'm doing a collection of everyone's sign points. So if anyone pointed, there's the kite. It's pretty great. Yeah, if anyone pointed to the sign, I need to know about it so I can go back and watch that segment.
I'd forgotten how good that was, actually. He was technically walking backwards on the spot for a good second there. Ed's just said in the chat he did get a hug from Shelton Benjamin.
That's true.
No, that's nice.
That's very true. A little bit of audio there came through. The statue of Bart Starr. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, there was also, like I said, not much. For a go-home show, there was very little that happened. I don't remember anybody sign pointing for you, Chucks. I'm sorry.
Damn. Well,
maybe
I can skip the show then.
Maybe.
Nothing happened and no one pointed. Then
just there was a lot of talking. Just fast forward and just see if there's any sort of like finger pointing and whatnot.
What's happening with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan?
I don't know. Nothing. No progression on that this week. Honestly.
Was Shane eating any other kind of cinema snacks? Or...
No, Shane was there. He restarted. I think he restarted a match, I believe, and then he did something like, "Oh, sorry, where are my manners? What up, Green Bay?"
Oh God.
He did that.
At least he didn't say Milwaukee.
That's true. Yeah. I remember that was like the only Shane thing that I remember from this week's show. I don't remember him doing any sort of like picking on Daniel Bryan this week. No progression on that whatsoever. Rusev was also not booked, so even though it was Rusev Day, he wasn't in action with anybody.
Oh, they made the match between Rusev and Nakamura, didn't they?
They did that on the
And Nakamura all of a
backstage
sudden
segment.
brought out his singing voice.
Yeah, he has a good set of pipes on him.
Yeah. It was very strange. I was not expecting him to do that in that promo.
He is the rock star.
That's true. He could be owning up to that nickname. That is very, very true. Let me go back this over here.
So then they did. Is that right? They did the 5-way as it would have been before Cena got added.
Yes, correct.
And who won that?
Sami Zayn pinned Owens.
Yeah, he smashed Owens and like turned his back on him. But then I liked how he did the promo at the end when he said that this match doesn't mean anything because it isn't for the championship, and this Sunday it's a different thing. And I thought, yeah, sorry, no, this was just to prove that I'm the best, whereas this Sunday it's for the championship. So he still kind of played up that he could be working with Owens. He just wanted to prove in this match that he was the best.
I think this is another case of everyone being stupid.
Yeah.
Because if turning on Owens worked and you could get the win, surely you should pretend to be working with him on SmackDown and then turn on him on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Why not? I think like I said, I think these two are going to have, and this is kind of giving away the prediction a little bit, I think these two are going to have a spat, and I think they're going to take each other out of the 6-way winning scenario. And going by your logic, whoever gets the pin on the go home of the match that's supposed to be scheduled for the pay-per-view is most likely not going to win it.
Unless you're Asuka.
Unless you're Asuka, that's right.
Yeah, see, and I'm sure they gave Zayn the win here because he looked like the least likely to win. And now it makes him even less likely to win. Even though he got the win, you would think to make him look stronger, but actually...
that's what it was. So it was originally AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler, because Styles had like a promo and Ziggler came out and these two had like a match, and then eventually the Yep movement interfered, and then Baron Corbin was added via Shane McMahon, who came out and restarted the match, and he was like, it's going to be a fatal 5-way. What up, Green Bay? And then that's when Zayn won it there. Let's see. They had Becky Lynch defeating Carmella. Jinder Mahal taking out Randy Orton with Bobby Roode on commentary. And on the start of the show, Charlotte Flair, Ruby Riott had like a 15-minute promo.
Wow.
Which, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Bobby Roode came out at the end of it as if he was getting involved and nothing ever happened.
Yeah, because they kind of hinted at, like, you know, the fact that Charlotte is her, you know, Charlotte and Roode are tag team members of the Mixed Match Challenge, and we thought, you know, maybe there'd be some sort of crossover thing. Nope, he's just out there to call a match.
That's very strange.
Charlotte and Roode as a team.
Yeah. Speaking
Two
of...
people who really want to be Ric Flair.
Team tryhards, I guess. I don't know. Speaking of the Mixed Match Challenge and what Ed kind of insinuated from the theme music there, we had this moment this week between Strowman and Alexa Bliss where Alexa got knocked off the apron and Braun was there to catch her. And it looked like something out of that one movie with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. I don't remember the name of it.
The Bodyguard.
The Bodyguard. I want to say The Patriot, but I know that's a different movie altogether. I know that's incorrect. The Bodyguard,
That's Mel Gibson.
Yeah. And there was another part where... oops, there we go. There was another part where I think Strowman was on the ground and she like landed on top of him and whatnot, and everybody was like, ooh, and such. They also won against Naomi and Jimmy Uso. Believe it or not, so
I believe it.
I believe it too. So they progressed. Connor's Cure is still in the tournament. I think next week it's Rusev and Lana versus
Team Tryhard.
I think it is. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. And then whoever wins that, I believe, goes against Team Little Big. And supposedly, like, losing charities get like $10,000.
Isn't there a vote to bring a team back?
There might be. That might have happened. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's actually not. Yeah.
Yeah, the loser bracket or something like that.
I'm looking at the brackets now. There's only there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the first round. So then 3 in the second. So the winner of next week's Rusev and Lana Rude and Flair match will have to face the voted loser, I guess, in the other semi-final.
Did Asuka and Miz lose? I'm not sure.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They've
no.
got
Okay.
Strowman and Alexa, Little Big.
Gotcha. I thought I was forgetting somebody. I apologize. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's get into the prediction game now. Do you have the papers?
All right.
You have the papers.
I do. They're here. I'm just going to look through a few things, and there it is.
All right,
there it
perfect.
is. 6 matches.
Perfect.
6 matches to get to. So I think it's all to play for. Yeah, Beans could definitely overtake me here. Will could bring it to within a point, and Smoot is also playing. So we haven't had anything.
I thought you were going to do the Jeff Goldblum laugh then out of Jurassic Park.
No, I can't do that.
Smoot finds a way.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. You never know. WrestleMania card's going to be big. It's big. It's big, people.
Can have about 20 matches
Really
on it. Really big. That's big, guys.
God.
Really, really big.
This one is not. Fastlane is not a big card at all. We've got nothing announced for the pre-show. My prediction there is for bludgeoning. I don't know who. Maybe the Breezango again. Maybe the Ascension. Someone's going to get bludgeoned anyway. That's my guess. So we'll have to go straight on to the main show. How about the Divas Women's Tag match that was just added? Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella.
Ugh.
It's Women's Month, Beans. Come on.
You can't be going ugh at that. Come on.
Yeah.
I can be going ugh at that. In the same way I'll be
Empowering
going
and making
ugh
history.
about a lot of these matches. I'm going to say Naomi and Becky Lynch.
The faces, as I've dubbed them.
Oh, that was another thing for SmackDown. They had a shot of Naomi backstage looking at the TV, but the backside of the TV was facing the camera.
Oh wow! So she was like facing the TV.
Yeah, for a change.
Like a person.
Yeah.
Is she from this world?
And then Natalya came in, and I guess that's where this whole match stemmed from between these women. So you said Naomi, the face is Beans, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
I'll go with it as well. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Natalya. Carmella's just been floating under the radar for quite some time, ever since she lost Ellsworth.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Will?
Yeah, same.
Same. Okay. All right.
So that is all of us. That's a sweep for the face team. Just write that in there. Next up, the only other non-title matches, as you were just talking about, Nakamura versus Rusev on Rusev Day, no less.
Exactly, yeah.
It's Mother's Day over here too, but most importantly, it's Rusev Day.
I'm going with Nakamura, flat out.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Nakamura
Rusev.
flat out.
Sorry.
Yeah. Same.
I love Rusev,
Yeah.
but the way that they've been booking him and the fact that both him and Lana have been complaining on Twitter, I don't think they're doing themselves any favors whatsoever. And plus, Nakamura is the Royal Rumble winner. Gotta give it to him.
Yeah. I agree. He's the number 6 contender or something. Right now he's got to win. Well, that was easy. That was a simple enough one. Let's move on to the US match, the US title match between Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, but not Jinder Mahal, strangely. This is a weird match. I don't know what to think about this one.
I'm going with Randy Orton via DQ.
Okay. Bold choice.
Just because Jinder's going to get involved.
Yeah.
Very bold
So you
choice.
think Orton's
that
going
or-
to win by DQ?
Yeah, I can see him attacking Bobby Roode or something, and then it all getting either that or it'll be a no contest or something.
The storyline to this is that the U.S. title is the one championship that Orton has not gotten.
Yeah, I guess except the Universal.
That's true. Yeah, the Universal title.
So we have the SmackDown tag, didn't he? The Raw tag is the old tag.
Yeah.
So he's had that. Yeah, it's true.
You win the European title?
No, that was gone pretty much before. Well, it was on Raw, wasn't it? While he was just starting on SmackDown, I think. And it got merged with all the other belts, with RVD and Kane and all of that. Triple H in the end.
No, Edge just said in the chat, "Happy Mother's Day to Laura." Thank you. I'll pass the message on, Ed. Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah.
That is nice.
I still I think Roode's had it on for quite some time. I kind of want to pick him as like, you know, that's just like the person that retains, but I don't know if he can retain it heading into Mania is the thing. And if Orton has it, what the hell is he gonna do at Mania if he's the champion of the United States title?
I don't know what any of these guys do.
Yeah.
So Roode's had it for not quite 2 months
Oof.
since he beat Bacon for it.
That's why I like the disqualification thing too, because then you kind of set up like some sort of rematch. But I don't know if you'd want these two to go again in like maybe like a no DQ type of setting, which is where that ladder match idea comes into play that we've been kind of throwing out there.
And this 6-pack challenge is going to leave loads of other people without anything to do, with no road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But then, do they do a ladder match for the US belt the night after doing the ladder match for, was it the night after or 2 nights after, the NXT ladder match?
Yeah, sure.
2 ladder matches the same weekend?
Yeah.
Good. Could do.
They do pay-per-views where they do the same gimmick match twice.
That's true. That's very true. I'll
So
go
that
with
pay-per-view would have to be called Ladders, though. This Sunday at WWE Ladders.
I'll go with Rude to retain.
Yeah, Rude for me, you know.
And me, but I like Queens' prediction, really. I kind of want
Yeah.
to copy that. I think he's got a point on us here. Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Rude's-
so gutted if Rude wins by DQ.
It's true. It's true. And I'm tempted to stick a DQ on my prediction, but then, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm Rude by DQ.
Rude by DQ.
Rude by DQ. So we've covered our bases a little bit here.
All right.
Because Jinder has to get involved, right? Because he's not doing anything else.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
See, I was thinking if they end up doing like a triple threat as well for the US title with Jinder, Rude, and Orton. Orton would probably need to win the match just purely so that he's won against the champion, so he has another chance against him.
And the thing, and also the whole top 10 list that they keep fucking continuing hammering on about, like as if it matters or something, is still pretty ridiculous. Like, just make another.
I want to see what Vince McMahon's top 10 was.
Oh god, it's just Cena. It's just Cena and Reigns, like every other spot. Jinder's gotta get involved here, I feel, at some point, either during the match or after. So.
But then can they do a triple threat at Mania when they've got the triple threat for the IC belt on the other side?
No.
So many multiple person title matches lately.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all WrestleMania.
Anyway, all right, so let's do the tag title match then.
So what sound like they just rewound your tape?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much. My predictions are really boring here. I think this is just one of those pay-per-views that's just holding.
Yeah.
Everything's just going to be exactly as it is. Totally unnecessary. So I've got the Usos retaining against the New Day in a match that I'm sure will be good, but pointless, ultimately.
This is another one where I think there could be outside interference from the Bludgeon Brothers. It might be like a no contest.
To set up, some big tag turmoil or something?
At Mania, yeah. I'll go, you know what? What have I got to lose? No contest! How about that?
No contest.
No contest. I think some sort of schmaz, if you will, happens between the both teams. Like, they both get attacked at the same time by the Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say the Usos.
You sound so thrilled.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was trying to think of different scenarios, and I was just like, I'm not quite sure.
Well,
I'm gonna go New Day.
Oh, New Day.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another one where the bases are covered.
Yeah, Usos, no contest, New Day. All our predictions locked down. So now, let's move on to... making more history here. Charlotte is defending against Ruby Riott with the other Riott squatters.
God. Riott squatters. Make it sound like they don't have a home.
Yeah, I guess if I had said that in an American accent, that's what it would have sounded like.
Yeah.
Squatting. This is one that surely is just a match to do a match, and Charlotte's got Asuka.
Hang on a minute, you just said another match where they're making history.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's going to happen.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a thing that's going to happen.
I thought I'd missed some kind of stipulation or something.
No. No.
A first blood match.
Oh, God.
No, you couldn't do that. Never do that in a women's superstar match. Not in Women's Month.
Jesus.
It is Women's Month, you know. I don't know.
It is.
Heard that. Yeah.
I've heard about it. Yeah. I'm waiting for them to just go back and replay the moment where Rousey signed the contract as the moment of Women's Month. Like, have all these historical figures from time, and it's just like, let's go back
Steph
to
starting the women's revolution.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm going with Charlotte. I think she's got to be champion for the Asuka match. Well, then again...
Oh, changing his mind now?
Then again, Charlotte, she doesn't have like they don't really like to do like champion versus champion, I guess that much. But
wait, champion versus champion?
yeah, Asuka with the belt, right?
What? No, she won the Rumble.
Right. Never mind. Sticking with Charlotte. Never mind.
Smooth's on the drugs.
I'm on something. Any chance of a Carmella cash-in? I think she's holding it till Mania.
No cash-in now.
Yeah. Unless
she cashes in
we'll save that for the
loses,
end. We'll save that for the end here. Make a little note.
Beans, Will, Charlotte, Ruby Riott.
Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Charlotte as well.
He would make me write down the longer name twice. Gonna have to
Jesus.
fill time with mumbling now while I just get this down. Okay, now we've got the main event of the evening. It's a six-pack challenge. So Kevin Owens isn't winning.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Get it?
I get it, yeah.
I would pay you money to say that to his face.
Same, actually.
I'm sure he knows.
Yeah, he's well aware, yeah. He's well aware.
I mean that obviously because they're not changing their minds now. It's, he's not going to win it and face Nakamura. That's obviously for Styles, so he's not. Yeah. Sorry, Kev.
Digging jokes.
You really deserve to win, Kev. I don't know, just don't have faith in the company, I guess, to do the right thing. Yep. So AJ Styles is defending against the great Kevin Owens and his best friend Sami Zayn. Also the free agent John Cena, the show-off Dolph Ziggler, and boring Baron Corbin in a six-pack challenge.
If you're thinking about six packs, there's really only 3 that could win this.
Well, Ziggler's got pretty good
Yeah.
abs, right? I think he would win a legit six-pack challenge.
Cena and Zayn.
No.
AJ's, for an old man.
AJ's got. It's Sami Zayn, no.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I
would pay you to say that to his face.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, same.
We'll do it at the same time when we book ourselves into a tag match with them.
Sure.
Where they'll murder us for real.
Well, if we were to do that, I wouldn't turn on you until it actually counted. We would beat them, and then I'd do it and throw you out of, whatever.
No, I was just thinking of doing the Bailey spot on you, and just like when you were getting like absolutely battered and needed a tag, I was just gonna leave.
No, you give me the old short arm. Yeah, you heel.
I'm going with AJ Styles. I'm going with AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ Styles has a six pack.
Oh my god.
He does.
Yes. All right, we've established that. I also think he's going to retain, and Cena is going to be all mopey again until the Undertaker shows up.
Mopey Cena.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have another road to WrestleMania, you guys.
How many times is it? I bet you any money there's going to be a few things that happen in this match. You're going to have the tease of Sami Zayn lying down for Kevin Owens because he said he would. So they'll probably have that where he turns it into a roll-up or something and gets a near fall. And you're going to have John Cena probably in the calf crusher, and he's going to look up at the WrestleMania sign and like do that thing where he reaches out as if he's going to grab it, and he just can't reach it because he's in so much pain.
And he's going to scream. He's going to go, no!
And
with his mouth all big.
Yeah, and instead he should be grabbing for the ropes, which is like not that far away.
Yeah. He reaches out and he can't reach, so he puts his hand on his head, and it's like, ah.
Yeah.
And then someone else breaks up the hold.
Yeah.
Also, and you get a good idea if Cena does win it, keep this in mind, he becomes a 17-time champion and breaks the record held by Flair.
I'm tempted to pick John Cena just because it'd be like WWE to make Cena at Fastlane.
Yeah, it would. Not to mention, it would make the one-on-one match a triple threat at Mania between Cena, AJ, and Nakamura.
I'm sure, didn't I make a comment on last week or the week before saying, like, can you imagine if Cena came out and said about inserting himself into the AJ Styles and Shinsuke match? I think it'd be the greatest thing. And he actually did do it, and the crowd shit all over it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all went, no,
Yeah.
we can't.
Let's take the greatest match we could possibly do at the moment and stick John Cena in it.
Yeah.
Styles for me too. I mean,
Styles, okay.
yeah. What else can he do?
Yeah, I don't see any other options. Well, there's 5 others, but not ones that I think will win.
Yeah. Will.
Yeah, Styles for me too.
Carmella cash-in beans.
No.
Will.
I've just realised that like the Randy Orton and Bobby Roode match is like the most important match of this show to me now.
1 point hinders between Shucks and Beans on that.
Yeah, and seeing as I'm
True,
2 points behind, that gives me a 1 point chance at Mania.
It's true.
We've
Will.
all
Carmella
predicted
cash-in?
pretty close.
No.
No? Okay. The other thing I had in my head here is maybe Cena loses. Maybe he's about to win or something, but maybe he loses because the Undertaker shows up. So, do you think there may be an Undertaker distraction of some sort during this match?
No, I think that's going to be the Raw the night afterwards, man.
Yeah, I think so too. That's got to be a bigger moment. This is Cena losing, then he looks all distraught and
Right.
I've got no road anymore. It's the end of the line. And then on Raw he says something and Undertaker shows up maybe.
I just had this image of Kurt Angle coming out on that scooter that time for Cena, so that he had something to get into WrestleMania if he was in a rivalry with him at the time. Snowballing.
Will, Undertaker distraction?
No.
Because my thinking is, I'm going with yes. My thinking is this show doesn't have much going for it, and they kind of need something as like a surprise, if you will. And what better way to have, Undertaker just basically realize what Cena said. The whole, how about, the dream match at WrestleMania.
Wanna do it?
Yeah. You want to do it? and the lights go out.
You wanna go?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The lights go out, and Cena, moments before has somebody in the AA, and then he's laid out or something afterwards, after the lights come back on. That's just speculation. That's just an idea to throw out there.
Well, you're right that the show has nothing and it needs something, but I don't know an unadvertised appearance is really going to help things.
I don't know.
If you were to say Undertaker will appear on this show to make some cryptic comment about his future.
Yeah, at Raw 25.
Yeah, exactly.
Where people pay hundreds of dollars to go to the Manhattan Center and get 3 matches.
Don't worry, he'll come out and he'll be like, I was just going through my Reaper list and realized that John Cena never answered to the Reaper.
Oh my god.
He's been resting too peacefully. Or not peacefully enough. I don't even know what the thing is anymore.
Yeah, it's true. But you gotta have something. I think, like I said, Zayn and Owens are probably gonna have a match of some kind.
How many times will the WrestleMania sign be pointed at?
All right, we can make that. Yeah. WrestleMania sign points.
Potentially hundreds.
I'll go with 5.
5's quite high.
It is.
Yeah, but honestly, you could potentially have everyone do their entrance and point at the bloody thing.
That's true.
Does it have to be an actual point?
It has to be
with
at
finger?
the sign.
Do we have to get that camera angle?
It can't just be Hogan pointing at something like the guy. You.
Yeah, and just be like, oh, that counts. No, it has to be at the sign.
But does
it
have
count
to be...
when it's the camera angle? Like the guy, because I can see in this 6-man especially, there's going to be the two guys staring off with the sign in the background. You know, like they do in the Rumble quite a lot, where Cena and Reigns like face off, and then they've got the sign to kind of gauge whether or not there's any interest.
That's not a point.
It's not a point, but it is a kind of, a sign gesture.
So there's no pointing involved.
If you point at the sign, it counts. I don't care about camera angles, where you do it from, the rafters, the nose.
What if the person points at the sign more than once?
That doesn't count.
What? It doesn't count?
Well, I wouldn't count it.
So you wouldn't count like Ronda Rousey's debut?
I was just going to say, Ed just put in the chat and said, the point doesn't need to be Rousey style, but it needs to involve arm elevation.
Right.
So
yeah.
Okay, I get that, because they don't all point. Sometimes it's like I can imagine Nakamura doing like a wacky hand something, not necessarily just a one-fingered point, but like shake his arm at it or something.
So when I say 5, it's like 5 different people.
5 different people.
Right.
I think that's high. Only 2 for me.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that.
Beans.
I'm going to go with 3.
Will.
4.
This is like Price is Right, alright.
Higher or lower?
And also, I'm going to change my answer to the Undertaker question.
Ooh.
I think he will show up, and I think he'll be a pointer.
Oh shit! Yeah, I never thought about Undertaker doing it.
He's going to do the old kneeling down scenario and point at the sign. Or Cena looks all shocked and...
That could work, because they could have Cena lose, and then look all sad, and then Taker does the lights off and shows up and points at the sign as if to say, "Hey, want to do it?"
And then Cena's going to pick a mic up and go, "Yeah, but it's impossible.
This is my road."
Oh, we can't do the match, Matt, because you retired.
And he gets his clothes.
Then Undertaker gets pissed off and says, "You're not on first name basis with me, son," and like just beats the shit out of him. And then we find out the day afterwards that he injured himself in the beatdown and the match is no longer taking place.
Oh no. Oh.
Well, Cena changes his mind and goes, "Nah, I can't be bothered."
Yeah.
Maybe next.
Oh god. Okay. Well,
I just found out I've got a mean retro spot on WrestleMania where I'm going to do some rapping with some cardboard cutouts.
Oh my god. So that's the prediction game for Fastlane. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
Will Cena go to grab the sign during a submission hold?
Oh god. I'm not putting that on there.
Because we
How
know
long
it'll
do you
happen.
think his arms are?
He'll do it. He'll get close as well.
He can always seem to reach the brass ring that no one else can reach.
Yeah, he fucking never lets anyone else touch it.
Oh.
Yeah. So there you go. That's your Fastlane prediction game there. We'll see what happens. Again, the Orton Rude match of all things is probably going to be the most anticipated match of the prediction game, because considering again 1 point hinders between Beans and Chuck's, which could make the difference maker heading into the last prediction or pay-per-view prediction game of the season, being WrestleMania. So.
Are you listening, Jinder? 1 point hinders.
I like that. I like it. Is there anything else that we should mention before we get out of here? It says he likes my chances of a comeback. I mean, I just want to break like 60 at this point, you know.
Just stay above the 50% mark.
Yeah, somehow I'm just above half
You're
still.
still there.
I don't know how. I'll credit Mojo. I'll credit Mojo.
Damn Mojo.
From Mania last year.
To be fair, that does bump your percentages up by a good 15-20% in my eyes.
Ed's asking, what do you think of the leaked main events for NXT TakeOver? So apparently, WWE gave this away somehow, and I saw a headline about it. I'm gonna try to pull it up here.
Yeah, I've not looked at. I've heard that there's a new thing. I don't know how much are we saying.
Apparently, WWE accidentally spoiled the full card for NXT TakeOver New Orleans on Facebook, and then the post was immediately deleted. The only match that had been previously confirmed from the TV tapings this past Wednesday was Johnny Garaggio and Tomato Chomper. Although an angle had been done to continue the feud. So this is the image here. Let me open this up into a new image. There we go. Sorry, I'll throw this up on the stream. Spoilers incoming for those that don't want to see it, but here they are. Let you guys ogle at that for a brief moment. Now, it could still be a thing, or it still could be changed at the last moment to kind of fix the mistake of it being leaked. But there you go. Apparently, this was like a promotional thing for tickets, and I don't know how you just accidentally leak a match card out like that.
Don't think there's anything too surprising there apart from the major announcement of one particular match. How much are we saying? Mind you just put it on the stream. There's the ladder match.
6-man ladder match to around the first NXT North America. That's so stupid. Just say that's the new title belt, right? That you guys are mentioning. Oh, that's dumb. That's dumb.
You're from North America. You should like that.
Great. You can defend it in 3 countries. Congrats.
Central America counts, doesn't it? If they were to go down to
Mexico,
probably... No, Mexico's Well, I guess that's what you meant by the 3.
Yeah, Mexico.
You could go down to Yeah, but Central America, like Belize and El Salvador, and
Central America is not North America.
Surely it counts. Like the Caribbean.
No. I mean, it probably will count. I'm just, being belligerent, but
this thing will be defended in Italy at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. It's just to represent North America. It's not like the TV title that's only ever defended on TV or whatever.
It says technically the UK title is defending in America, which is true. But still. True.
Just like the Universal Championship being defended in the universe.
Yeah, it is. The Intercontinental title isn't defended between continents, though. It's always fully in a continent.
That's true. Unless it's overseas and it's I don't know.
International waters.
Yeah, international waters.
On the Jericho cruise or something.
Sure.
Ah.
Okay.
That tag match at that rumored card isn't happening.
Well, it's been changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Was it Bobby Fish got an injury?
Yeah.
That's to be replaced by Adam Cole, who is also in that 6-man ladder match. So I don't know if he'll be taken out of that or.
Is it not going to be the winners of the Dusty tournament also win the titles? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What else? Oh, right. The Jonathan Coachman apparently was mentioned in a sexual harassment lawsuit against ESPN by former anchor and legal analyst Adrian Lawrence. Yeah, this can't be good. WWE issued a brief statement saying that they take these matters very seriously and currently are investigating them. They just made the swap to Coachman from Booker T. Maybe Booker T will be back to fill the chair if any sort of allegations have like some levity to them. I don't know what your guys' take on it is, but
sounds like that Brock Lesnar being the commentator might not be so far away now.
That's right. God, I really want that to happen now. You really sold me on the idea of Lesnar being like an actual commentator. So, yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on that. If he's just suddenly missing, I think we'll know what happened.
Yeah, it's not good.
No. That's about it for me. You guys got anything else?
No, not for me.
I think that's the limit.
Can we?
Yeah.
I just want to hurry up and finish before Bean starts talking about football.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. How did I not? Thank you so much, Will. Yeah. Smoot, you might have gathered just from that comment alone that mine and Will's team in football played each other today, and we won.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, Beans. Congrats.
Yeah. It's all right. Chucks is still the real winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in prediction game, in football,
I'm
it's
just going to
difficult
say,
sometimes winning everything.
yeah, it is. Wigan Athletic.
Bloody Wigan! It's always them too.
I like
Always
Wigan.
Wigan. I used to like Wigan. Then things happened, and my feelings
Dreams were
changed.
destroyed.
Yeah. Hey, we got the League Cup, so that's something. Good old League Cup.
Wow.
Well, you would
No,
say that. That was,
It's not like you're on for a treble or anything, you know.
Right. It's how you justified last season. Well, we've won the League Cup. League and Europa double. It's huge.
Yeah, we're classing it as like a stepping stone. You just like went from one season to the next, like did about 5 seasons worth of development.
It's true. Yeah. I had to keep saying last season, it's transition. It's new manager. Everyone's learning. We've got to get up to speed and work out what we're doing. And sooner or later, it'll all come together. And then suddenly, just it did. Totally out of nowhere.
And then you played Wigan.
And then we played Wigan. Well, then we played Wolves, I think, when it first. They exposed Fraudiola.
Nice to see you got that nickname for when it all goes wrong.
Everyone else
did
is given
that to
that
you
one.
as well.
You what?
I think another team did that to you as well. I seem to remember.
I don't know. I think
yeah, that one that lost today.
I think you'll find it was 8-4 on aggregate.
All right.
Bloody hell. That's some experience to go to them depths to try and win that side of the argument. That will.
Well, no, it is because Anfield is. I don't know. It's bizarro world.
Full of Canadians.
Apparently, yeah.
Full of Canadians. Yeah, there's something about Anfield. We can't play there.
They all keep going, eh?
Hey.
Hey.
Get there before you did.
The alright movement.
God.
Bloody hell. Smoot is sitting in horror, like listening to this.
I just want to hit the button to get us out of here. That's it.
The bunny button. All right, hit that button.
Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, they prematurely cut off Raw for like a brief moment to some people.
Really?
Yeah, like they started showing that unsolved thing with Josh Duhamel, with the Biggie Smalls, Tupac Shakur documentary thing, docudrama, I guess. And they were showing like a preview, like right as Heyman was coming out. Like they accidentally cut to that instead. It was great. I really thought the Bonnie button was hit for a change. But,
That's Bush League, in my opinion.
It is. It is. I agree. That's going to be it for us this week. Tune in next week as we run down and count how many times people pointed at a sign in the sky, as well as everything that's happened during Fastlane and probably more cheerful banter amongst the Brits with the football talk, chatter and such. And is the ham and eggers still in it this year?
Oh God.
The ham and cheddars.
Wait, who was Ham and
West Ham.
Yeah, the West. Yeah, the West.
Was it West Ham?
Yeah. Or was it Southampton? Either way, you're in trouble.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was Southampton, wasn't it? It was Smoot's team.
Southampton was your team last season.
Not Bournemouth.
Oh God, no. I don't want Bournemouth.
Hey, no, Southampton are doing badly.
Great.
Yeah.
Just like me in the prediction game.
What a good team too.
Splendid.
It's just not working for him.
I guess not.
Something's not going right.
You can say that about half the league, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
anyone from 7th down.
Anyway,
Sixth down, I think.
check us out at the IWC Radio on Twitter. Hashtag your questions, comments about the show at hashtag IWC Radio, and drop us a like on iTunes and YouTube, subscribe, and all that. We'll catch you guys next week. Take care. Have a good one.
Toodle peep.
Bye.